Hey y'all. So I haven't done a live in a while, and I'll probably be off before anybody jumps on this live. But I don't know. I felt like I needed to have this conversation. So I was working in one of my offices, and when I pulled up, one of the residents was outside, and she said she introduced herself and asked if I was who I am, and she then said to me, she said, you are so pretty. And I said, thank you. And then later on, another one came and was like, oh my gosh, you're so beautiful. And I was like, thanks. But I'm doing the live because so many times we allow situations, we allow people to project their negativity, to project their feelings of low self-esteem, low self-confidence on us. And even though I know that I'm beautiful, and even though I know that I'm pretty, I don't know, something hit me in that moment where I had to tell myself, you know what? There's some stuff in your life that's crappy right now. There's some stuff in your life that's jacked up. And I'm not just talking to myself. I know some of y'all got some stuff in your life. But if I could encourage somebody, I want to encourage you to not let your situations. I wish I had a church, but they're not going to come. I wish you wouldn't allow situations or people to dictate your disposition for yourself or for your own life. I wish you would look at your life and look at yourself in the mirror and remember how amazing you are, how beautiful you are. Because can I tell you something? Here I go with the real stuff. Folk miserable. Can I just say that? You meeting folk every day that's miserable. They ain't got nothing going on. They don't have no ability to dream big, to think big. All they have is criticisms, negativity, complaints. But baby, you got stuff going on. You got stuff you trying to do. You got stuff you planning to do. And you going to let them people dictate your thoughts for yourself, your disposition for yourself. Baby, no. Listen, I don't care what you in, and I don't care what you're faced with. Never deny the amazingness. I made that word up. Amazing. Yeah, I did. I made that word up. That's my word. Never deny how amazing you are. Never deny that you were created for a purpose and God has such a promising future for you in mind. Never deny that there's something amazing that's going to happen in your life. It may not be happening right now. Come on, somebody. It may not happen tomorrow. It may not happen next week, but there's something that's ordained to happen amazing in your life. And I don't know. I just had that moment. I don't know, for the last 2-3 weeks, I just been feeling like something about to happen. Something about to break forth, something about to come, and I can't explain the feeling that I have. I can't explain how I know it, but when I tell you I know something's about to happen, something's about to break forth, something's about to come forth, something's about to shift, something's about to change. And baby, you got to be careful that when you in your shifting season, you got to be careful who you let in your circle, who you let in your ear, who you let in your eye gate, baby, because if you let the wrong person in your eye gate and in your ear, they will knock you completely off target for where you're going. Baby, there is something that's about to happen. This thing done shift. Even in this live, there is something about to shift. So you got to be careful who you allow in your circle, who you let. What she said to me wasn't so much the fact that it was something that I needed to hear. What she said to me shifted me. I wish I had a church. It shifted me. It shifted me into a place of, girl, don't you forget. Girl, don't you dare put your head down. Girl, don't you dare get in a place where you think it ain't about to happen. Girl, don't you dare get into a place of disbelief. Girl, don't you dare get into a place of doubt. That's where it shifted me to. It shifted me to understand, baby, hey, even the strangers will see it. I wish I had a church. Even the strangers will look upon your countenance and be able to see it's about to happen. Even folk that don't know you, even folk that don't see you every day, will be able to look upon your countenance and be able to say, baby, hey, I don't know what's going on, but something's happening. There's a glow about you. There's something that's shifting in your life. And what I need you to do is I need you to stay focused in this season. I'm trying to calm down. I was just going to get on here and say a little nice message. I need you to stay focused. The enemy is going to send distractions. And guess what? When they're trying to kill the president, baby, they come from the Secret Service, the person that's right next to him. So trust me, the enemy will try to use those that are closest to you, those who have access to your heart, those who have the ability to twist and turn your feelings and mess with your emotions. Be focused in this season. Stay focused in this season. It's some stuff you believe in God for. Come on, saints. It's some stuff you want to see in this season. Come on, saints. It's some stuff you're believing to see. It's some seeds that you done sown that's about to take root and bloom in this season. I need you to stay focused. I need you to not get caught up on what they said. I wish I had a church. I need you to not get caught up on what they did. Guess what? This is the season where you're going to have to forgive offenses and move on. If you want the fullness of what He's about to do in your life, this is the season where you got to let them offend you and move on. This ain't even the time for no get back. You ain't got time for that. You ain't got time to be trying to get nobody back. You ain't got time to have no lick back. You ain't got time to be trying to say something after they done said something. Baby, guess what? You got somewhere to go and you got a short time to get there. In this season, you're going to have to forgive some stuff and move on. I wish I had somebody. But y'all ain't going to come to my church. This the season that you're going to have to say I'm sorry for some stuff that you feel like you shouldn't even have to apologize for. I wish I had some people. Because guess what? He doing it, y'all. And I promise I wanted to come on here and just say some little nice little perfect message. But honey, he done shifted that thing. Because this is the season where something about to happen. This is the season where a lot of us ain't talking. We ain't talking. Because there's some stuff about to happen. It's some stuff already happening. It's some stuff that's being established. I wish I had somebody. It's some stuff that's being established. It's some stuff that's being increased. It's some stuff that's being moved out on purpose. You didn't even have to do the moving. God did the moving for you. Why? Because there's some stuff about to happen. So this ain't the season, baby, where you can afford to get caught up on what they said. Baby, they said it because they ain't doing it. I wish I had some. They said it because they want to get you off track. They said it because they want to get you off course. This ain't the season. It's some folk that's been in your life a long time, and guess what? This is the season where they got to make their grand exit. Not entrance, but grand exit. Because they're not qualified to meet you at the next station. I wish I had. They're not qualified to catch the next train ride with you. So you got to let them off at the next station. Yeah, the connecting flight, they won't be able to make that. They only had enough money to make it to the first stop. They only had enough loyalty to make it to the first stop. They only had enough care and concern to make it to the first stop. They ain't gonna be able to go the whole flight with you. They ain't gonna be able to go the whole trip with you. As a matter of fact, this is the season when He gonna connect you with folk when you get to where you're going. I wish I had some people. So you cannot afford to get caught up in the stuff that was catching you up before. Baby. If you still getting caught up in that small stuff, and I almost said another word, but I'm going to stay safe. If you still getting caught up in that small stuff, guess what? You ain't ready. You ain't ready, because where He about to take you, He going to take you fast. I wish I had some folk that can testify, because it's already happening. Where He's about to take you, He's taking you fast. And He ain't got time for you to wonder about what's happening with Sally, Susie, Billy, and Bob. He ain't got time for you to be wondering about what you're going to do over here. No, you need to have your business ready daily. I wish I just had some people. I didn't want to go here. But you need to have your business right daily. You need to reconcile your feelings daily. You need to reconcile your concerns daily. Because that's how fast He moving. He doing it daily. Baby, you can go to bed on Thursday and He done opened up a whole new smorgasbord for you on Friday. I wish I had some people. That's how serious it is. And it was not until she said what she said to me that God opened that thing up for me. And He said, it's happening. It's happening. So I'm telling y'all, it's happening. Go tell your neighbor, tell 5 or 6 friends. You can keep it to yourself. I really don't care. But somebody needs to know it's happening. And it's going to happen quick. You ain't got time to talk to people about, well, what you going to do? You going to be over here? We going to do? No, you ain't got time for that. When folk come into your life, they need to already know what they're doing. I wish I had. You ain't got time for indecisiveness because it has the ability to infiltrate your life and your mind and your system. So you can't deal with people that's indecisive. You can't deal with people who double-minded. You can't deal with people who don't know which side of the fence they want to be on. You can't deal with people who don't know if they want to sit down or they want to go. You can't deal with people that don't know if they want to get in the car or ride a bicycle. Now, in this season, I need you to be intentional. I need you to know where you're going, what you're doing, and how you're going to get there. That's how serious it is. Because this season, he doing it. I wish I had. He doing it. And he doing it fast. Why? Because he has need of us to get to a certain place. A lot of us have been delayed because of choice. I ain't ready to go. I don't go. Yeah, guess what? It ain't about you. It ain't about you, boo. And I wish it was about your church. I wasn't going to touch on this, but since I'm here, I might as well. It ain't got nothing to do with your church. It's got everything to do with the relationship you have with him and his plans and purpose for your life and where he intends for you to be, who he intends for you to be connected to. And some of y'all, if you ain't careful, you will deny the connections of the Lord because it's not conditioned the way you think it ought to be conditioned. Did I say that? Did I say it? Okay, I might well stay there. Check your conditions. Make sure you're not denying something that God called for your life because it don't look like how you think it ought to look. Because it don't sound how you think it ought to sound. Because he ain't the color you think he ought to be. Because he ain't the height you think he ought to be. Because she ain't got the Coke bottle shape like you think she ought to have. I wish I had a church. I put on Facebook today, sometimes you can be the whole package at the wrong address. So in this season, you got to be intentional. You got to know what God doing. And you got to know he doing it on your behalf. You got to know he moving some stuff. Like real talk, y'all, I'm serious. So much stuff has happened. He's moving some things. It's some stuff you thought you would be connected to for the rest of your life, and he all of a sudden shifted it out the way. I wish I had. It's some folk you thought you was going to be connected with for the rest of your life, but he shifted them out the way. Why? Because they were going to get in the way, and you didn't have sense enough to get rid of it yourself. You was going to hold on to it because it was familiar. I wish I had a church, but I'm hitting hard. I might as well go and do it. You was going to hold on to it because it was familiar. You was going to hold on to it because it felt good. You was going to hold on to it because you had a codependency and it needed you and you needed it, but he had to move it because of where you really going. Not because where you think you going, but because where you really going. Because where you think you going, that ain't it. I wish I had. He's doing it. Don't despise the shiftings and the movements that's happening even now in your life. This stuff is ordained, y'all. I promise you. And can I tell you a secret? The woman that said this to me has been one of my main antagonists over the last 3 weeks. But God used the word of an enemy. Wish I had a church. To shift my mind and to penetrate my heart so that he could get a word in my spirit, a quickened word, a word to quicken my spirit. Use one of my antagonizers. I said this. When she said, I said, thank you. But baby, no sooner than I walked past her, that thing just quickened in my spirit. And I've been sitting here not wanting to flow about it. But he was trying to get something to me, and now I got to get it to you. Guess what is happening? And can I tell you something? Come here. Don't be surprised who he gonna use this season to bless your life. You get that later. Don't be surprised. That's why I'm telling you, you can't afford to have offenses in this season. You can't afford to be running around mad, pissed off, got a grudge, stuff all up on your shoulders. You can't afford to do that. Because the very ones that you feel that way about may be the ones that he will send back to bless your life. Maybe the ones that he'll send back to give you a word. So y'all got to get to the point where you stop conditioning yourself based off of what you think it ought to be and how it ought to be. No, it's a whole new season right now. Everybody jacked up. But he will use whoever he got to use to get to you what he needs to get to you. And if it's your enemy, it's going to be your enemy. I ain't telling you got to break bread. But all I'm saying is be alert. All I'm saying is deal with your offenses. Reconcile your feelings every day. You can't afford to be carrying stuff 2 and 3 days. You missing stuff. You missing stuff. You been mad 3 days? Go ahead and pick up your feelings. Pick them up, baby. Pick them up. Pick up the feelings. Reconcile them bad boys every day. Before you go to bed. Tabitha Brown said this. She said, before I go to bed at night, I have to ask myself, heart, you okay? You good? You good? And I promise you, I'm the queen of holding something. But I kind of let it go after about 3-4 days. But then sometimes you just way in the outer court and ain't no coming back. But even me, he said, reconcile your feelings every day. You need to reconcile that every single day. You need to deal with that every day. Don't take nothing over to tomorrow. Because I'm doing stuff so quick that I don't even have the ability. And some of y'all need to go have some conversations with some folk. Get that thing right. Reconcile that thing. So you don't get in the place where you are delayed from getting where you got to get to. And then another thing, you trying to get to where you got to and you carrying the baggage and the weight of somebody that you mad about. You can't even get to where you got to go to because you too heavy. You too heavy. You carrying too much. Your next season can't even hold you because you're too heavy. I remember a friend of mine drove trucks and he said, every time we go by them weigh stations, we have to pull in and we have to weigh. And sometimes my stuff be too heavy and I have to take some stuff off. Your next season can't even receive you because you are beyond the weight capacity because you carrying stuff from your last season. Baby, you weighed it down. Get rid of that stuff. Don't go it. Get rid of that. So you can freely move into your next season. So I'm going to get off here because I got stuff to do. But if I don't leave nothing else with you, I'm going to leave this. Make sure you don't allow nobody to ever make you feel like you ain't worth nothing, that he's not doing it. Guess what? We ain't all the same. You may not pray like me. I may not pray like you. You may not speak in tongues. And I do, but it don't mean nothing. Ain't none of us the same. But all of us are the same, exact same at the foot of the cross. So stop using these excuses of what you doing and I ain't living right. Man, bump all that. Bump that. Funk that. Stop it. Stop with these excuses that you're putting on yourself because he didn't put that on you. He ain't require you to be perfect. He ain't require all that. But stop letting other folk make you feel guilty. Stop letting other folk make you feel shameful. Stop letting other folk make you feel like you're not loved or deserving of love or a beautiful person. Stop that. Live your life, boo-boo. And start freeing people so you can free yourself. So when it's time to elevate to the next place, you got everything you need to move right on in. Won't have no baggage. Won't have none of that stuff. Baggage. I don't want you to miss your bus. Carrying on them bags like that. Love y'all with the love of the Lord.